What if oxygen, one of the most abundant elements on the planet, suddenly disappeared, like vanished into thin air for just 5 seconds? For that short time period, life as we know it would cease to exist. In this video, we're going to dive deep into what would happen if oxygen disappeared from Earth for only 5 seconds. But before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And with that said, let's begin. Number 1. Instant fire extinction. Fires would go out instantly and completely. All flames would vanish in an instant. That's because fire needs oxygen to burn. It's a chemical reaction called combustion that needs oxygen as one of its ingredients. When oxygen is removed, combustion cannot take place. So every single fire on the planet would go out in an instant, putting an abrupt end to any ongoing fires. Campfires, wildfires, candles, fireplaces, furnaces, gas stoves, they would all go out immediately. Even the embers and smoldering materials would lose their ability to sustain the combustion reaction without oxygen. It's hard to overstate just how sudden and complete this extinction of fire would be. In a world where so many processes rely on controlled or even uncontrolled fires for various purposes, from cooking food to generating electricity, this sudden change would have profound implications. Number 2. The sky turns black. The familiar blue color of our daytime sky would vanish, replaced by an eerie darkness. During the day, the sky would turn pitch black as if it were nighttime. This might seem like a dramatic change, but it's actually quite logical when you consider how the sky gets its color. The blue hue we see is the result of oxygen molecules scattering sunlight. These tiny oxygen molecules scatter the shorter blue wavelengths of light more effectively than the longer red wavelengths. So during the day, we see a sky colored blue because of this scattering effect. However, if oxygen were to disappear, this scattering process would also vanish, leading to the sky no longer having its distinctive blue color. Instead, it would appear black during the day, as there wouldn't be any atmospheric particles to scatter the sunlight. This sudden shift could be disorienting to anyone on Earth, disrupting our sense of time and place. Imagine going about your day with the sun shining brightly but being met with an inky black sky. It would be a perplexing sight that challenges our understanding of the natural world. Number 3. Eardrum rupture. Our eardrums would burst due to a sudden drop in atmospheric pressure. The human ear is delicately designed to function within a specific range of pressures. When oxygen disappears, it takes other gases with it, changing the overall atmospheric pressure. This sudden decrease in pressure would be too much for our eardrums to handle, causing them to rupture. It's similar to what happens when you rapidly change altitudes, like in an airplane, where your ears may pop to equalize the pressure on both sides of the eardrum. But in this scenario, the change is sudden and extreme. The absence of oxygen and the resulting pressure drop would cause our eardrums to burst, leading to intense pain, permanent hearing loss, and potentially even death. It's a grim consequence of the interconnectedness of our bodily systems. A change in one part of the atmosphere can have such a devastating impact elsewhere. Number 4. Structural collapse. Much of Earth's solid structures would collapse. That's because oxygen makes up 46.6% of Earth's crust. When oxygen disappears, the molecular bonds that hold these structures together are broken down, leading to a structural failure. Concrete, steel, and other building materials rely on the presence of oxygen to maintain their strength and stability. Without oxygen, these materials would quickly degrade, causing buildings, bridges, and other structures to crumble into dust. Even rocks and soil would become loose and crumbly. This sudden weakening of Earth's infrastructure could lead to catastrophic collapses, causing widespread damage to cities and landscapes. It's a stark reminder of how deeply intertwined our human creations are with the natural world around us. Number 5. Water breakdown. Water, which is essential for life, would break down into its constituent parts, hydrogen and oxygen. This means that the very thing we drink to sustain ourselves would become a source of our demise. Water, with the chemical formula H2O, represents a pure substance consisting of hydrogen and oxygen atoms joined by chemical bonds. When oxygen, one of the key components of water, disappears from the planet, these bonds are broken. As a result, hydrogen atoms, which were previously bound to oxygen in water molecules, become free. This process transforms the hydrogen into a gaseous state, releasing it into the atmosphere. Suddenly, oceans, lakes, and rivers would start boiling and releasing massive amounts of hydrogen gas. This transformation would not only change the physical state of water, but also release a highly flammable gas into the atmosphere. The oceans, once a life-giving force, would become a catalyst for destruction. As the hydrogen gas escapes into the atmosphere, it would pose a significant danger to human settlements and ecosystems. This dramatic change in the chemical composition of water highlights the intricate balance that exists in nature. The removal of one key element can trigger a chain reaction that alters the fundamental properties of other substances. Number 6. Brain damage. Our brains would cease to function within 5 seconds due to the lack of oxygen. The human brain is incredibly sensitive to oxygen deprivation. It requires a constant and sufficient supply of oxygen to function properly. In just 5 seconds, our brains would shut down, leading to immediate unconsciousness. Prolonged oxygen deprivation can cause severe brain damage, potentially leading to permanent disabilities or even death. This rapid impact on the brain underscores the vital role that oxygen plays in sustaining human life and consciousness. Our brains, which enable us to think, feel, and interact with the world, are highly dependent on this seemingly invisible element. Within just 5 seconds, the absence of oxygen could plunge the world into darkness as consciousness across the globe fades away. Number 7. Aircraft and vehicle failure. Cars and planes would plummet from the sky. Without oxygen, engines that rely on combustion wouldn't function. Planes would fall from the sky, cars would stall on the road, and boats would drift aimlessly on the water. Any vehicle or machine that uses an internal combustion engine, whether it's a car, a plane, a boat, or even a rocket, would cease to function. These engines need oxygen to support the combustion reactions that generate power. Without oxygen, the fuel wouldn't combust, leading to an immediate loss of power. In the case of airplanes, this would mean that they would no longer be able to maintain altitude and would start plummeting towards the ground. Pilots would struggle to control their descent as the engines sputtered and died. Cars would also come to a halt, bringing traffic to a standstill. Boats would lose power, adrift at sea or on lakes and rivers. This sudden incapacitation of vehicles would bring an abrupt end to modern transportation and mobility, plunging us into a state of stillness. As we wrap up this thought experiment, it's clear that oxygen isn't just a component of the air we breathe, it's the very essence of life on Earth. Its disappearance, even for a fleeting moment, would trigger a cascade of disastrous consequences. From the mundane to the monumental, every aspect of our existence relies on this often overlooked element. It's a stark reminder of our planet's delicate balance and the fragility of the systems that sustain us. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about what would happen in different scenarios, don't forget to hit that like button. And with that said, thanks for watching. Until next time.